us live now for more on this is University of Newcastle criminologist Dr. Xanthi Mallet. Xanthi, thank you so much for your time. New South Wales Police have deemed the disappearance of Charlise Mutten as suspicious. Is there anything that strikes you as unusual about this case?
Well, I think what's unusual perhaps is that she wasn't reported missing for a number of hours. That's quite unusual in a child disappearance. However, we don't know why that was. As was mentioned in the introduction there, her mother has not been formally interviewed yet after the medical episode. So there'll be more information coming forward once she's been interviewed. These are difficult conditions for the police and the volunteers to be searching in. So we're 4 days in. So there's certainly still hope that she may be found. But yeah, it's a very worrying situation.
How difficult is that for police, the fact that she wasn't reported for almost 24 hours after she went missing? Police have already lost that time before they could start searching.
Yeah, the first 24, 48 hours are, so important in any serious investigation. In child investigation, for example. So certainly those 24 hours have now been lost, but they will be making up ground. They're throwing every resource possible at this. They have dogs out, they have the SES out, they have very significant police presence in that area as well. So they are doing absolutely everything they can to locate her and look for any information that may lead to finding her.
Yeah, absolutely. Police have been told to search for anything out of the ordinary, including footprints or bike tracks. What other clues could they be looking for?
Well, they will be looking for witnesses who may have been in the area at the time as well, but this is quite a remote space. It's a large area from which, she has disappeared. The homestead on which she was is like 12.5 acres in itself. So that kind of information will be limited. There won't be as much CCTV, for example, as you may find in a more suburban or urban area. So they're really looking for anything that may give them clues as to where she may have been. So we're looking at, very recent foot tracks, that kind of thing. But obviously people will have been using these trails. So it's difficult to determine what pieces of information being recovered could in fact lead to finding where she is.
Police have seized a boat and a red ute for forensic testing. What do you make of that development?
I think that's probably just being thorough, in all honesty. So they're looking at every possible avenue, potential hypothesis here. So I wouldn't read too much into that. They're making sure that they collect whatever evidence is available now. So obviously they're going to be doing every search possible. They'll be looking at every possible scenario. And so they will automatically be looking at any vehicles in which she could have been moved. So I think that's just part of the investigative procedure.
The search has been going on for 4 days. What are the biggest challenges for police now at this point as they're really racing against the clock?
Yeah, they are. I mean, conditions have been favourable. As we mentioned, it's fairly warm. There will be drinking water available, but 4 days is a long time for anybody to be potentially out in a bushland area of this size. So, they really are fighting against that survivability time. So, she could have travelled a significant distance by now within those 4 days. So they really are against the clock to try and find her alive and well. But obviously they're doing ground searches, they're doing air searches. So I'm very hopeful that she will still be found.
Will New South Wales Police draw on strategies of the Cleo Smith case or any other missing children as they seek to try and find Charlise?
Yeah, I think certainly lessons have been learnt from earlier investigations. So the Tyrrell investigation, for example, we've heard that homicide are now involved in this search. And again, I wouldn't read too much into that. They're really just looking at all of those possible scenarios. That's a normal step at this number of days in. We saw that with the Cleo Smith investigation. Homicide were also brought in after a few days as well, and the Tyrrell investigation. So really they have learnt from missing child investigations, and they know that they need to act quickly and very dynamically early on for the best possible outcome.
Dr. Xanthi Mallet, thank you so much. Appreciate your insights this afternoon.
Thank you.